Okay guys, this is the first sketchbook I finished in years. I don't think I ever finished an entire sketchbook. I did sketch in the past, but hardly ever in a sketchbook. This sketchbook is from Décotime and it has two parts. This part is for alcohol markers and this part is for aqua markers. I started this book on October 3rd, 2022 and I finished it in November 13th, 2022, so just over a month. I didn't expect to fill it that quick. Well, what did I do in this? I tried different styles I hadn't drawn in ages. This was not the first page I made, that was on the other side, so I'll start there. This was for the aqua markers and I started with some simple flowers, all kinds of, and started to draw some circular shapes just to practice my hand again. I got myself some cover markers, some aqua markers, and I used them to color this in. This was the first time I used aqua markers. Another silly drawing, and here I tried to put a banner with those flowers I made, and I used my color pencils and I used Staedtler pencils, Staedtler Norris, and I used my fine liners, and that's when I found out that my fine liners aren't waterproof. Some water fell down and, well, it spread. Here again, craft sensation, water papers, water brushes. Here I just put some color on the paper and then doodle over it. Just anything. These are cover liquid markers, these are craft sensation markers. Both really cheap brands, just to try them out. I never worked with these, but it worked quite okay. And I like the way this turned out. This was me trying again something with the watercolor. I put the paint on a piece of plastic first, and I found out that I'm too quick. Don't let things dry, so you see smudges and you see that the black is leaking, and it was just me testing craft sensation lines and cover liquid paints. And I have to draw in pencil first, then paint it, and then use the liners. These are just some swatches, more swatches from different colors. Another work, this is both done in pen, just some shading, just some practicing in shapes, and having fun with pen. Here I followed a tutorial from Shada Campbell. There is a video about it and I'll put a link down in the description below. It was the first time doing flowers. I'm not really a flower girl, but practicing flowers was good. I did a crocus and a daffodil again because I wasn't really too happy with the first try. And then I made my own arrangement and I'm quite happy with this one. I tried it again over here. And I did some blob cats, and again from Shada Campbell, I looked at them and I wanted to try them. I didn't really like the result, but the idea is really fun. Just putting down some paint and then use the shapes to draw something in them. And I loved it, but I didn't like the execution. This was another tutorial I followed, again Shada Campbell, and I'll put all the links down in the description below. And I really loved the way this came out, and I loved it so much that I did it many times. They aren't really existing flowers, but it just gives you a good idea. And these pages just make me happy. When I open them, it just brings a smile to my face. Here I did it again. I made a video about doing this, so if you want to see, go to the description down below. Here in green, pink and purple. So I tried all kind of color combinations and I love them. Here I tried the blob cats again because I wasn't too happy about the first attempt. But this wasn't it either. So I decided to learn how to draw cats. So I followed many tutorials. Here one from Art for Kids Hub and JRAM and Shada Campbell, and here were just some faces, here from Angela Nguyen from her book. So I did all kinds of things. There's a whole video about it, and I did the blob cats again. And this time I liked them a lot better. And I liked cats so much that I drew many of them. And this one was just before Christmas. All cute cats with birds and trees and mice. So here I got other markers and I tried them as well. And these are Décotime water markers, and I tried by putting the marker on paper first and then just use water with it. A butterfly, and here a nice night piece. This was in one color and I really liked it. This with a Napoleon blue from Décotime, and I painted this within 10 minutes, wet on wet, and it turned out really nice. The fun part about this is that if you look really careful, you see not one color but 3 or 4. That's how you can see that every color is built up from other colors as well. So it was fun to do this one. I tried it again. It's supposed to be a deer, but it looks more like a donkey. A landscape in 2 colors. Also wet on wet. 1 color, wet on wet. Pictures are all from Unsplash. And this one I love, my elephant. In 1 color, warm cocoa. And this one was in 2 colors, wet on wet again, the background. I used orange ochre and sap green. The colors weren't dark enough to create a dark foreground, but I liked the effect. This one was for a draw this in your style. Here just practicing some wet on wet again. And some swatches. Well, that was all the watercolors. And now we continue with the markers. So these were just some banners with flowers, and here are the colors I used. And I used touch markers for these. But I didn't expect to leak through this heavily. Here I tried again, and when would it leak through? The fine tip and the chisel tip, and these are the number of layers, and the trying to blend. With the chisel tip it was best. And well, as you can see, it bleeds through heavily. And these that are boxed also show on the next page. I had an extra piece of paper between them, but so this paper is supposed to be for alcohol marker, but I'm not too happy about the paper. So I did use it for alcohol marker, but not that often. And if I did, I used washi tape to tape 2 pages together so I could use it safely. Here's just some scratches, practicing different pens, some simple shapes, cross-hatching, a one-line drawing, and another Shader Campbell tutorial I followed. Love doing these, by the way. And this was my own collection of these flowers. Well, you probably saw my logo and my YouTube banner. Well, I drew them and I just made a picture of it and put it online. So this is the first draft of them. Then I learned how to draw cute foods because I like cute stuff, but I'm better at copying things than drawing myself. So I wanted to try something. And I used the book Angela, Learn to Draw Cute Food by Angela Nguyen. There's an entire video about this. Here you see I used washi tape to tape 2 pages together. And here I did it again. This was my own concoction. And I tried character doodling, and I'm not that great at doodling. Well, I can doodle, just put my pen on paper and I'll doodle away. But making characters is something I'm bad at. So I followed several tutorials again and again. There's a video about this, so I'll put a link in the description. But you see several tutorials I did. And these are just mouths and eyes and hair and noses that I saw and wanted to use or could use in the future. And here are my own characters, patterns and fillers I thought I could use in the future. And some doodles and some draw it in your style pictures. Really like this one. This was the first time in ages I drew a human. So for the first time it was great. I even like the hands. They're not perfect, but for the first time I'm quite happy with it. And this one I love. I love the bear. Also draw it in your style. And this was trying to blend with alcohol marker, but the paper was weird. But it worked, but it was weird. And 2 beautiful pictures of puppies. The puppies look a bit angry, but they're supposed to be happy, so I have to practice expressions with them. But I really like the way these 2 turned out. This was my flip through my sketchbook tour, the first of many, I hope. This was my entire completed sketchbook. If you want to see a sketchbook tour of my December challenge, December 22, I did a art advent calendar challenge and I put a sketchbook tour of that online. So subscribe, don't miss out, and watch my other sketchbook tours or other videos about painting, drawing or bullet journaling.